Hey guys, back with another video. Today I have my book of the month. Now I did not do book of the month in, was it August? I just did not like any of the picks. I did not. So I skipped August and came back in September. Sorry. I'd find a paper clip, or not a paper clip, but a hairpin so that I can open this. Alright, so let me show you guys what I got for September. And look, I got two smaller books. Look how small that is. Well, usually I get really thick books and I have a really thick blue box. Not this time. Alright, so first of all, here is the bookmark. And it's the book of the month. Sorry, it's the book of the month. And then it says, I tend to get lost. And I like the maze at the end of it. I tend to get lost. I definitely in a really good book. I definitely tend to get lost. And I'll stop reading and be like, whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. Did that just happen? Or like Kevin Hart said, we're not just going to speed past that like you just didn't say what you just said. Okay? Because that definitely be how it be. Okay? Alright, so my pick is The Neighbor's Secret. Allison Heller is the author. Let's go ahead and read it since I only have two books. This is going to be a short video, so I'll just go ahead and read the synopsis on the cover. It says, how well do you really know your neighbors? With its sprawling yards and excellent schools, Cottonwood Estates is a perfect place to raise children. The Cottonwood Book Club serves as a subdivision's eyes and ears, meeting once a month for discussion, gossip, and cocktails. If their selections trend towards twisty thrillers and salacious murder mysteries, it's only because the members feel secure that such evil has no place in their own cul-de-sacs. But when late-night acts of vandalism target the women of the book club in increasingly violent and personal ways, some of the Cottonwood Estate's longest buried secrets begin to surface. What happened to Lena's family 15 years ago was a tragic accident, and she will never admit otherwise. Devoted wife and mother Annie refuses to acknowledge, even to herself, the weight of a past shame. A new resident, Jen, wants friends, but, as always, worried about her troubled son gets in the way. Oh. Worry about her troubled son gets in the way. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't reading right. They might even argue about the books, but the women of Cottonwood Book Club agree on what's most important, protecting their children at any cost, even if it means someone has to die. Dun, 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 dun. It almost makes me think that somebody in the group, like in the book club group, is the one doing the killing, or I don't know if there's actually killing, so I can't say that, but doing the targeting vandalism. Because otherwise, why target some people in a book club? So, I don't know. It seems kind of like an obvious whodunit sort of read, but I'm still here for the journey. Sometimes the most obvious books have some of the best twists and turns. And when I say obvious books, like the obvious, what do you call it? The obvious ending, or obvious who did whatever, have some of the best twists and turns. All right, next book I got was Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Every book that Riley Sager has put out that book of the month has offered, I've gotten. And so far, I haven't been disappointed. Even Lock Every Door hasn't been some people's favorite. I think I gave that book like a 4-star, I believe. Because it was good, but it wasn't great. But I also read, what was the other one? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I can tell you everything that happened in the book. Detail. But anyway, the other book was mostly like green cover. Oh, this is gonna bother me. Let me look this up. I read that book first, and I was told that because with it being my first book by Riley Sager, I was told I read a good book first, and that's what did it for a lot of people to stay reading Riley Sager. Home Before Dark. I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and that was my first book. And I was told, "Oh, girl, you picked a great book for the first one," because I didn't like his other books. I haven't read a book by him so far that I did not like. The only thing that I know that I said was that I don't usually care for men writing books as a woman main character. Like, you're a male author, just write it from a male point of view. Like, I know it's not like a typical book that people will read. Most first person books, people want to have like a female main character telling the story, but this man writes genius. Even though that was like something that didn't really settle well with me, I have not read a Riley Sager book that I did not like. I don't know. It just is what it is. Make sure I got my facts right though. Yeah, okay. For some reason, nothing. Anyway, but I'm excited about reading this book. And says it's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck. George H.W. Bush is in the White House, and movie obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer. Josh Baxter, the man behind the wheel, is a virtual stranger to Charlie. They met at a campus ride board, each looking to share the long drive home to Ohio. Both have good reasons for wanting to get away. For Charlie, it's guilt and grief over the shocking murder of her best friend, who might become the third victim of a man who known as the campus killer. For Josh, it's to help care for his sick father, or so he says. The longer she sits in the passenger seat, the more Charlie notices there's something suspicious about Josh. For the holes in his story about his father to how he doesn't want her to see inside the trunk. As they travel an empty, twisted highway in the dead of night, an increasingly anxious Charlie begins to think she's sharing a car with a campus killer. Is Josh truly dangerous, or is Charlie's jittery mistrust merely a figment of her movie-fueled imagination? One thing is certain. Charlie has nowhere to run, no way to call for help, trapped in a terrifying game of cat and mouse played out on pitch black roads and in neon light parking lots. Charlie knows the only way to win is to survive the night. So that's kind of cool, actually, that this takes place in a car. Like I'm guessing the whole trip it takes place in a car. So that makes me want to read this even more, because it kind of reminds me of a movie that not too long ago came out, and I said I was going to watch it, and I didn't watch it, but this girl picked up this guy from a house, and I think she was the Uber driver. No, he was the Uber driver that picked her up, and then he turns out to be a killer, or she was the Uber driver that picked the guy up. I actually can't even remember, but she introduced herself and he introduces himself by telling her that he was a killer. I was like, what? This is gonna be a good movie. But I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I'm hoping to watch that movie soon. But that is my book of the month picks. That is all I have for you. And until next time, bye.